I'm going to replace my battery on my Mi4 here with a pinpointer that has been broken. So last night I tested this glue out here, this epoxy glue, on another circuit board that I needed to fix. A battery had, I replaced the battery here on this circuit board. So I let it sit there overnight with the glue on it, and it is holding really good. I think that will do just fine. I'm going to be taking this Mi4 apart, so if you do have a warranty on your pinpointer still, I would advise not doing this, but I'm not going to warranty these pinpointers here because I just abuse my equipment. I'm not going to do that to a manufacturer, send them back equipment that I've just abused. You know, I don't have normal wear and tear on my equipment. You know, I use this stuff every single day, and it's not really intended to be used that way. So I'm going to be taking these apart here. This is a pinpointer that Jim had. Jim was using. He's actually broken a couple pinpointers like this. Jim uses his pinpointer with his cap off there, so we can hear it better. But when you drop this pinpointer on the concrete, when this cap is off here, it will break this plastic piece right here every time. If it drops in the concrete, ding, it'll just fall apart, right? So I suggested to Jim just drill some holes in the cap there and keep that cap on there, and you can hear it better. So I'm going to take the batteries out of this pinpointer that Jim broke, and replace it with the batteries. My oldest pinpointer, that is my oldest pinpointer I have, the Mi4. That's the first pinpointer that I got here. So if you do not feel comfortable working on electronics, I would have somebody else do this, or if you don't want to void your warranty. So this is the part here that Jim broke. And Jim also, what I think Jim did too, he broke the speaker in it. So you don't want to take a pair of pliers and reach in there and grab it, because there's components on this board that are very fragile. This is a very delicate circuit board, and this is a delicate procedure, changing this battery here. You don't want to damage the circuit board here. Okay, I think what Jim did, because I can see a big dent in the speaker there, and the speaker cover is off. So he probably just reached in there with a pair of pliers and grabbed it, and now the speaker doesn't work on this, so it's just junk. But I can still use this battery on here. This battery's still good. So I'm going to pop the wire out there, pull that off there, and I'm going to take my pinpointer apart here that has a good cover on it. Here, I'm just going to put that screw right in the bin there so I don't lose it. This should pop out there pretty easy. Right there. This one's fully intact. So this is the vibrating case. This is the one that breaks when you don't have a cap on it, when you drop it on the ground there. So just like I said, you don't want to reach in there with a pair of pliers or any tools. Just pull it out this way, you know. I'm sure XP has a certain tool that they reach in there and grab it with, but I don't have that tool. So this is very delicate. You don't want to damage this part here. So see this? See the difference between this speaker and his speaker? His speaker's all bent, and it doesn't have that plastic cover on it. My speaker is intact because I didn't reach in there with a pair of pliers. So I'll put these other parts here. And I got a sharp knife here, a couple sharp knives to pull this battery off with. Just like so. So I was a lab test engineer for several years, so I'm very comfortable with working on electronics. So this is a very, very sharp knife, and they used tape, double-sided sticky tape to put this on there, but I'm going to glue it on there. You probably use hot glue, but I don't know, hot glue might damage. So this is my circuit board here. I do not want to scratch this circuit board, right? So I'm going to be very careful with it, and I don't want to break it. Just kind of open it up there just a little bit, and I don't want to cut into the battery either. So I'm just going about it very carefully here. I don't don't want to cut myself, you know what I'm saying? Just like that. Don't want to bend the circuit board or break the battery. There we go. Battery came off there. This is the battery that is no longer working. Okay. So I'll just put that inside there for now. So I want to be careful with this one too. So this is the good circuit board and this is the good battery. Okay. So I do not want to cut into this battery because it'll explode on me. You know what I'm saying? I also don't want to cut myself too. But it should just pry off here. Go easy with that. Right. So I don't think that's going to really make a lot of difference, this tape here being on there. I don't want to try to get all that stuff off there. But I will spray some alcohol on there. Wipe it with my certified, approved non-static wipes, non-lint, non-static wipes here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to put this glue on here. Just a little bit of glue goes a long way with this. All right. Goes a long way with it. I won't be able to, so the reason why I don't want to use hot glue on this, because I don't want to get that battery hot, and I don't want to put any heat to that board there. I'm sure it really won't make much difference with hot glue, but hot glue probably would work. So just like this. And I shall tuck that right back in there. So I gotta leave this out in the open for it to dry. And I'll hook this up right now. Just like that. Just push it in there. Just like so. This probably just has a dead battery in it, but I know that this battery works here. I know this battery's still good. I'll put this one inside of Jim's pinpointer here. Actually, I think I'll use Jim's pinpointer case here, and I'll just put this one without the battery in there. I'll recycle this battery here and just put this right here inside here for now. And just put the screw in there. I'll put the plastic part in there too. I'll put the vibrator part in there too. Even though it's not going to work, but I'll just put some tape around this one, because I know that this one does not work. It does not have a battery in it or anything like that. The speaker's broken on it and the battery's gone off it, so I'll probably just recycle this whole thing here. Or I might save this case, but I'm not going to do that right now. But this should work now, you know. What I'll do is I'll just put it in the case later on, because I want this glue to set really good here. But too bad I should have charged it first to show you that it worked. It did work a few days ago when I was like, oh, I'm gonna replace the battery there, and I also replaced the Deus 1 remote. I put the Deus 1 inside of the ORX case, so it works now. There we go. Now I can push the buttons really easy. there we go. There's the remote here. So I changed the battery in it. It should work. You know, it's got the circuit boards still intact and whatnot. But I want to let this sit out and dry out, cure overnight. Let it sit out for a few hours. You know, this one that I did yesterday, I glued on there just a little bit of glue, really, just it's solid. You know, so this is probably the only time I'm going to change this battery. I don't think that glue is going to come back off that circuit board, to tell you the truth. You know, I don't want to try to pry on this one too much, because I still want to keep this circuit board intact. It's for something else that I have, another electronics equipment that I had to change the battery in. So, you know, this, it might come off there, but I'm not going to try to pry it off there. This is just a one-time deal, you know, battery change. I don't really have any tape, any soldering tape to use, so that this glue should work just fine. Just as long as just a little bit of glue, not too much. I might be able to get that battery back off there, but thank you for watching.